Here.
Art Christie.
Here.
Joanne Powell.
Here.
John Horn.
Here.
Alan Shiner.
Here.
Sam Spada.
Here.
Vivian Welton.
Here. Notice is hereby given that the Town of Shandaken Planning Board will hold a public hearing pursuant to Section 274-B of state law and as prescribed by the District Schedule of Area and Rural Regulations of the Shandaken Town Code for the purpose of hearing the following applicant. Regarding an application for a special use permit submitted by Philip Moniz for a parcel located at 101-105 U&D Turnpike, further identified as SBL number 4.5-2-27, located in a residential 1.5 and a residential 3-acre zoning district. The applicant is seeking a special use permit to convert an existing barn to an accessory dwelling unit. The public hearing is scheduled for May 8, 2024 at 6:45 at the Shandaken Town Hall, 7209 Route 28, Shandaken, New York. Anyone who wishes to make comment in regards to this application may do so during the public hearing. If you are unable to attend, you may send any comments you would like read during the meeting to shandakenbldg@gmail.com or P.O. Box 134, Shandaken, New York 12480. All such comments must be received no later than 3 p.m. on May 8, 2023.
Thank you. Leah? If you would mind just running through the project briefly for the public.
Okay. We have an existing, first of all, I want to apologize. The existing building is a barn that has been used for storage for many years. It did have 3 bedrooms, a kitchen, and a bathroom on the 2nd floor of said barn. Said barn is going to be interior demolition, most of which has already been done. Will become a 1-bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, living room situation, used as an accessory dwelling. Plain and simple. There already is a new roof was already put on in 2022. A small utility room will be installed on the, constructed and installed on the west side of the building, and a small deck for access, both the front and the back. Simple.
Okay. Thank you. Did we receive any communications about this? We have nobody here. Does the board have any questions for the applicant?
Has an existing septic field?
Septic field is existing. We had, Brian and Larios did a survey on it. The existing septic system should be able to handle the load since we have gone to low flush toilets at the main part of the dwelling.
Yeah.
There is an should there be an issue, we have an area designated for an expanded septic system.
And Alan, I believe, verified the flow rates when he was here.
Alan did, I did the flow rates with Alan, correct.
So you added the parking spaces on it?
I could show.
I think we can close the public hearing on this one.
Is that a motion?
I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I saved you since.
Thank you. Anything else?
We gotta wait 7 minutes to start our regular meeting.
Okay. Have a great evening, everybody.
You too.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
You should.
They'll vote.
Yeah.
They're likely to vote on the
Come
application
back.
at the 7 o'clock meeting.
I'm sorry?
You
We
gotta
still have to
wait
vote,
around.
that was just a public hearing, that we can't vote on it.
You have to sit for 7 minutes.
I have to sit and wait.
Yes.
I'll wait for 7 minutes.
I was looking at the site on a Google map. That must have been really interesting. It's like 2 horseshoe curves
Like in S, the train had to do that just to make the grade
To
change?
make the grade.
Wow. That's all abandoned now, that would be part of the new rail trail that's being planned?
That is part of the new rail trail.
Could be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's interesting when you sit there and, now I have gone back and looked at, if you look at the Pine Hill Road, which was the original UND Turnpike, and Ed West, a number of years ago, told me something about it, and when I looked at it, the Pine Hill Road literally came up where the railroad tracks, in the path of the railroad tracks, and then continued up towards Callicurchie Road and over Callicurchie.
Was it grade crossing?
There was no grade,
Oh.
because there was no railroad at that time.
Oh, it preceded the railroad?
It preceded the railroad, and then,
It's almost like we have history here.
well, I went back and I looked at it, and now there was somebody a little bit further up on UND Turnpike, and there still is a railroad abutment there, because the road went off to the north and then crossed back over the railroad now, after they constructed the railroad in the 1880s. And then it went on its merry way, and then when they put Route 28 in, everything changed once again.
Wow.
So that's the history of it. I was shocked.
Well, it's geographically, I mean, when you look at a Google map, you just can't miss it. These two double horseshoe bends forming an S right there.
There's only 3 in the country that are like that, apparently.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard.
Wow.
Like that double S like that?
Yeah, one is like down on the Susquehanna somewhere.
Huh.
And I don't know where the third one is. That's, somebody told me that. I don't know how true that is. I know there's one down on the Susquehanna. That's part of the history.
Make a cool model railroading layout.
Some crazy surveyor must have laid that out.
What do you mean, I'm not that old?
You know, it was done many, many years ago, and Ed was a very interesting guy. You know, supposedly Ed hiked every single mountain in the Catskills, and according to his nephew, he wanted to do every 3,500 one more time when he was well into his 70s. And his nephews did it with him.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So, is that correct? That's what you heard?
He was still surveying the mountains in his 90s.
So,
I worked with him several times. Several times he said, well, this is going to be an easy one. I have the maps already in the office. The surveys.
and he does, or did.
I was talking to him last conversation I had with him. I was working on a project that I was having problems with, and I said, boy, Ed, I thought this one was gonna be an easy one. And, well, let me tell you, Don, I've been surveying now for 75 years. I'm still waiting for the easy one.
Yeah. He was an interesting man.
Very interesting.
We have a wall in our office now that we're dedicating to the Catskill Mountain surveyors. We've got a lot of their old instruments on display. Cross, we got some pictures of him. We're waiting for pictures of Ed West from Ricky and Bob Berger. Bob Hall's still around. He's gonna give me a picture of him.
So you got this in your office?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Sometimes
That's awesome.
stop by anytime, take a look at it, pretty cool. Just getting there.
Rick was telling me they wanted to do another presentation there at the Railroad Museum. Because he did one at the watershed last fall. That was very interesting about the the original land parcels up in this area. And supposedly that, the one that he had done down at the watershed was very well attended, very well received. And now they want him to do one down at the museum. So keep it on your radar.
Well,
I have a linen from the King of England, an original linen from, I don't know, 17-something, 1708 something, that he gave the property of the Livingston Grant to the soldiers. Got it hanging in my living room.
7 o'clock. Move on to the regular meeting. It's in attendance. Has anyone had a chance to read over the minutes?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes,
I apologize.
we did it to ourselves. Ready to go to the meeting, everybody?
You spelled Heston XCK or just K?
I took it off the letter from the lawyer, so I assume I spelled it right.
Everything looked okay to me. It was a lot.
He was CC'd in all correspondence, so I just took it right
Yeah.
off the.
Well, you covered me.
I have no comments. Anybody else?
No,
No.
I'll make a motion to accept them as printed.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any communications, Olivia? None? All right, old business. Wait very patiently. So you have the parking spaces there. That was one comment we had. Everything else I think was pretty cut and dry as I recall. Anybody, any board members have any further comments on this project? Nope.
Nope.
Okay, I'll take a motion to approve as written.
Motion to approve the site plan application as presented by Philip Moss.
And tax special use permit in there, please, if you would.
Okay, and special use permit.
Thank you. Yes.
I second.
Clifford Buffalo,
Yes.
Art Christie,
Yes.
Joanne Cow,
Yes.
John Moore,
Yes.
Alan Shiner,
Yes.
Sam Scarlett,
Yes.
Vivian Welton.
Yes.
Once you get the maps, I'll sign them and then we're good to go.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Take care.
All right, have a great evening.
You can keep it. Oh, that's the
This is the Howard Lewinsky project.
How many are here?
John, who raised the easel? There's an easel in the board that put it on here.
Everybody's got a copy of it. If anybody needs another copy, I got one here.
Oh, yeah.
You have
Here's
another
one,
copy?
yeah.
This is such
Just put this in there.
Last time we were here, at the zoning board for we have 3 items in our regulations that we needed to go to the zoning board for, and we got those approved. Under the conditions Yeah, and change it from a 7-unit to a 5-unit. And 10 parking spaces. So
That's what the zoning board requested?
Yeah.
Can you reduce the amount of units?
Is the road, is the driveway existing on the right?
And that's, yeah, we're waiting for the, they put it in.
They put it in.
That is where it's going.
We haven't connected it to the highway yet, we're waiting for the,
No, but that hasn't been approved yet?
highway, no, we're waiting for that. We still have the shared drive,
Right.
that was approved.
So if you can't drive in one driveway and out the other, does it look like it's connected, or what am I seeing there? It looks like this isn't connected to here, because there's a line here. So, if you're going to park here, let's say you go in here, you're going to try and park, these spaces are taken, you can't just go here.
There's parking here too.
Yeah, but you have to go out and come in, or can you drive across here?
Are these, honestly, big enough? How long are these spaces?
20 feet. It's 9 by 20.
You do have enough parking space there. Less. That spot looks, that spot looks inaccessible.
So one inch was 50 feet.
So where's the entrance to each apartment? In front?
In the front.
I don't see it.
Opening at Joanne,
What?
those spaces on the
Yeah, I see that.
front, that backing out space behind it, like the parking lot, next to the parking space,
You don't
have
have
a
to.
reserve area.
You can send me copies.
Right.
It's like,
PDF.
they can't get out of that
would be
space.
easier.
It's like-
I've never seen those.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just got mixed up.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to drive over the reserve area back to the.
So is that allowed or not?
Is there a reason why these units are so close to the road?
Okay.
The utility line behind the
here?
buildings. Yeah.
This is utility line?
Yeah. We gotta stay away from that. So we're at the property setbacks away from that, setbacks from the highway, building setbacks from the side.
You've got the wetland back there too, correct?
Yeah.
Where is that?
It's back in here, is that?
It's all the way back.
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
Okay.
So this is the elevation, this would be the north elevation, this is the back of the buildings. You see doors there, doors here, or is this the front? I know you have large mature trees in front on 28. And those trees are gonna stay, right?
So front,
If it's front, it should be facing 28.
I would think so, because that's where they got in, on the parking, on this parking space side, because there's no doors in
Is
there.
that
Have you moved those
close
parking
to the road, or
spaces?
is it too close?
Are those fields in?
These parking spaces, they don't belong here, that's.
Yes.
Which
I mean, you have all this
septic
property,
fields
here.
are-
Why don't you put the parking over here?
Septic fields are already
Would
in.
they have to be right up against the building?
We did with that.
They don't require a permit from us, just
You just gotta have.
Yeah, do it.
Turn it around.
I mean, technically, it really shouldn't have been done before seeker was done, but what are you gonna do?
So Don, where it says front, this is indeed facing Route 28?
Yes.
That is the south facade.
So are they going to plant trees in the back, or is it just to represent the trees that are already there?
I think,
I mean, I know there's trees back there.
That's just enough.
Yeah,
yeah, I think it's just.
okay,
Fill.
yeah.
I think we're, I think we need some screening verify.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and this is something you guys had to get a variance just to get it through. I think it's a scenic corridor.
What was the variance issue? Already been used.
Oh,
Number one was use and the other two were.
one of the area variances that we did away with, because when the units went from 7 to 5, the density variance was no longer required. So they got the use variance to construct and the area variance to exceed the 4 that you're allowed. 4 units that you're allowed.
What was the hardship?
You tell me. Proof of hardship was, I can't show you that. It was not submitted to that board.
There's no hardship
There's
claim
no
here, is there?
hardship, what?
No, he's saying, what was the basis for the variance?
Yeah, it's gotta be an area or a use variance, and you gotta prove hardship. So I just asked what the hardship was. It's interesting.
We're already past that.
Yeah, I know, but I was just interested.
So,
I don't see enough room to pull the car into the last 2 spaces. Can't back out.
Not as like it's written.
How much space do you have to back out of a car?
full size pickup trucks.
Yeah, you can't back out of those spaces.
Can the reserve area be moved on?
And you have no sidewalk for the people to walk.
Yes, there's
Could
a
that
use
go down,
right
could that go down here, closer between primary and 28?
Well, that's possible.
So you can make sure you leave room for the screening, that's really important.
How is the screen gonna go in on the second?
That's what I'm saying, he gets to lay it out,
Yeah, there's
so something, yeah.
Has there been any architectural development done on the inside? 'Cause I'm trying to understand this roof line.
Oh, I did have one, I think I left it. Talk about the inside?
The roof line, so I guess this whole bit here is just a big long attic.
1 and 12, so it goes out. Does there have to be any handicap accessibility in front of these buildings? I'm thinking that where? No, it should probably be one of the ones in front. But I'm looking at this. Is it gonna be a walkway there, or across the front? Just, I see a, just a 4x2.
Maybe we need a sidewalk there too, so people can.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you end up parked over here, how do you?
Yeah, because, I'm sorry.
All right, why do you need, why do you need handicap? This is all on one floor, one level. Why would you need handicap accessibility?
They could,
Because he has no walkways to it.
Well, here in this rendition, oh, you mean from the car?
Yeah.
Well, then you would need, I guess.
They could potentially, but they could,
I'm just thinking of a walkway in the front of it, you know, a 3-foot walkway from across the front, somebody parks over here, but how do you get there?
they could potentially do a ramp around the side, but I do think we need this walking space in front, so it's-
Yeah.
beyond the question of handicap access.
I don't see how you're gonna pull out of the last 2 spaces.
Yeah, he's gonna have to look at moving it over there.
Maybe move closer to the road.
That's why I just asked if you put it under the primary,
You have to talk to the engineer.
underneath on
Oh, yeah, then that would solve the whole problem.
yeah.
But you can't plant.
But they can't plant there, so they have
Can't
to
put screens.
possibly change the proportions.
So walkway screening, and ask the engineer about moving the reserve.
And more room to back out of the parking
Or maybe you could
spaces.
move that whole thing over and put the parking along here instead.
Why can't you put the parking in the back of the building? If you're gonna make a walkway, just make a walkway around the building.
We can't,
Much space.
you don't have any space with that utility. You
Well,
got it.
where is the utility? It's not on the ground.
It's not just an aerial easement, you gotta keep the ground open.
There's a wetland back there too, I don't know what
Right.
the DEC is gonna say about encroaching
have,
on the impervious surface.
Something blocking.
Yeah, but it's not that close to the back.
Utilities.
I don't know where it is.
It's far back, I've been on that.
That bunch of cars in there. So that utility line there.
I got it. You know, where I live.
It's not the
utility right away.
But the easement
That's
is
just the right of way?
Yeah, he's telling us. True.
I don't see why you can't park under a right of way.
I'll check it out.
That would solve your whole problem. No parking back there.
Put it in the back, put the walkway around the whole building,
Right.
everybody has access.
So also another, sorry for the monkey wrench here. The parking area can't encroach on the 50-foot right of way either,
Right in the front.
which is that you've got drawn out here, so that's why you're,
Right.
so that's gonna be, this whole thing has to kind of be reworked, I think.
What? On the outside.
Yeah, but you can't, we don't have enough space.
Cars in the front,
Yeah.
it's like a motel.
You gotta find more space in there without going that way at all.
Car, yeah, put them in the front.
That's not my fault, we can't go that way.
No, just the cars.
So Chairman, I'm sorry I missed last meeting. It was in lovely Boise, Idaho. It actually is kind of pretty. But, and it sounds like the applicant's gone to the ZBA, they've given them feedback. But am I still correct when I read 116.40, our zoning does not allow a 5-unit development, does it?
It does not, which is why they had to go to the ZBA.
Right. So with the ZBA, does that now mean that where it says you can't do it even by special permit, now we can do it by special permit?
Correct.
Yeah.
I don't think we should do it.
Sam, ZBA approved the variance. That's why I asked, was it a use variance or an area variance? What type of variance was it?
And what did they give you?
I don't know.
They give them both.
They gave them both, use and area
Mr.
variance.
Ariansky was issued a use variance in order to construct a multifamily dwelling and an area variance to exceed the allowed number of dwelling units at 4.
Does that constrain this board's ability
This
to
board,
to approve or not?
no, it just means
No,
you
it
could
means-
approve.
It means we can approve. Now it's,
We can,
now
but we
it's
don't
treated,
have to,
correct, now it's treated as any other typical.
especially use permit.
Special use permit.
Okay.
Good sense of precedence.
That's why we cannot do this. 14 windows across, 94 feet long. This is not about law, this is about being a good neighbor. I do not want something like that built next to me. I'm not next to it, but I can't think of anybody in Shandaken who wants this next to them. We did our job to allow one lot to be divided in 2. Right off the bat there, we're doubling the amount of dwelling units. Legally, I believe you can do a 2-unit dwelling, right? And legally, you can take the existing building and turn it into 4 units. 'Cause you can only I think we've done our job to help housing here. This sets a precedent that, I'll say it again, elected officials need to deal with this. Housing is a really hot item. We set this precedent that forever and ever, people can do this in Shandaken.
And they can only do it if they get approval by the zoning board. I mean, once the zoning board approves it, it's not for us to,
The genie's out of the bottle now. How are they not going to prove it?
no, but we have to, there has to be other reasons why we don't approve it. If you say, I'm not approving it because it's 5 units, it's already determined that by the ZBA that 5 units are okay.
I'm saying that it doesn't fit the character of this
No,
community.
that's different.
That's my basis.
Well, if you go by the comprehensive plan for the town of Shandaken, that's, the town voted on it, agreed to it. I know it's outdated, but it's in effect right now. And it talks about the fact that there's only, back then, there's only 4% of available vacant or private property that can be used for housing. It says housing opportunities for the full economic range of the town's population should be encouraged. in a form that is compatible with the scale and pattern of the increased needs.
Stop right there, please. Compatible, scale, form, this ain't.
Okay, let me continue then. In general, development along the corridor of Route 28 should not be extensively promoted and should be limited to small cottage-type businesses. Cottage industries should be encouraged. Zoning laws limits the development of most mountainsides, ridge lines, and mountain tops within the town of Shandaken. And that's one of the reasons why they say we should consider the corridor of 28.
Yeah, but they said cottage style.
Cottage industries.
Cottage industry.
Similar to.
No.
But
That's
there's,
small
what
business.
Not college form.
Home business,
Yeah.
home business.
what they're saying is that the development should be compatible or consistent with the scale of the increased need. Is that what it sounds like you read?
Says
That the
that,
increased need is determining the scale of the development.
says a healthy housing mix is beneficial to overall economic health of the community, including aiding the local businesses and making tourist attraction. Development assessment of housing needs to ensure that the community responds to its fair share of regional needs. Establish flexibility in design, density, and unit type. Provide a healthy housing mix.
May I just frankly, if the town believes so deeply in that comprehensive plan, then why did zoning code never follow suit? They had 23 years to adjust zoning code to match what that comp plan says, and for whatever reason, they did not.
That's
And so we're left with the book that we're left with, frankly.
I was under the impression that Mr. Wendesky bought the next lot. Did he buy this next lot?
Yes,
He did.
I believe so.
And so,
What next?
Past this?
Towards the
yes,
east?
this one, yeah,
He owns this lot.
yeah, now he owns this
To
one.
the east, okay, to the
All right.
east, sorry.
So, I know you said concerned about the neighbor. Who's the neighbor? He owns this one.
Oh, I'm talking about the next neighbor, when the
When
next
Oh, the
developer
next time
says,
it happens.
I wanna do this, because
He's
you
talking about
approved it
precedent.
once.
And and that only solves
That's
the density.
precedent.
That only solves the density issue, which you already solved.
Yeah.
He's already got concerned neighbors. I already have a lady who comes in here once or twice a week concerned about this. That will be an issue.
And which side is that on?
Parcel owner on River Road.
So as it sits now,
Cross the road?
The horse people, I believe.
Oh,
with the parking issues we discussed, the pedestrian access,
yeah.
and again, you gotta, can you show that wetland on there, Don? Do you know where the barrier, she gotta, I don't know what the setback is.
Landscaping.
Yeah, there's something like that, yeah.
I can send you the website that'll show you where the wetlands are, if that helps.
Yeah, I have it.
Because I don't want, otherwise it's just gonna get kicked again.
Mhm.
Don's done everything that's possible, but this is 5 pounds in a 1.5 pound bag, and that's the bottom line problem.
I don't know if it's gonna be able to fit it all by the time he sorts out parking and reserved
Oh,
field
yeah.
and screening.
I assume the developer's motivations are good. Good faith, we need this is the wrong solution, it's the wrong place.
Well, it's a tight line,
It's the wrong place.
it's a very tight line.
It's in the 28 corridor.
Would we like it any more if there were only 4 units? It would be
I
a
mean,
little
it's-
bit
it-
shorter, but it still looks a little bit ugly here.
The one from 7 to 5 didn't change the footprint. I don't think it would get shorter. if there
Yeah,
were
it needs,
more.
yeah, it can't be 4 units in the same footprint. It's about space, you need to find more space in here.
So, Grace, are you saying that he made each unit bigger?
Yes.
Oh.
Well, I don't know each. I don't know what the breakdown of each individual unit is, but the building itself remains the same size.
It's pretty small.
These are 600 square feet nominal, 15 by 40,
They were.
the small units.
Okay.
Yeah, 640.
Oh, I see the end unit got bigger. I see.
But the renderings don't show the bigger unit on the end. Is that 3 times as big as the smaller unit? What is it going to be, a regular
The bigger one?
The bigger,
The two bedroom?
2 bedrooms, but not 2 stories.
No.
I guess you've got that extra window on next to the door. Still doesn't look twice as big on the drawing.
Okay, walkway, screening, parking under the right of way possibly of the facilities. And what?
Did you want to see the architectural renderings as well, or if that was just, you were talking about that?
I think it's too early for that at this point. Yeah, these might have to change.
Yeah.
It is clearly a mismatch. I can't get this elevation to match this plan in my head because the unit on the far right's 15 feet, but it's got 3 windows. Something's not quite coordinated. That's an architectural thing, not a survey
Yeah.
thing.
I see that.
That's not the John, we got different, that architectural.
Do you have this? Do you want this? Here, keep this.
And this, you have the sidewalk on there too, Don? Did you say that?
Yeah, walkway.
Right.
Would it look nicer if there weren't cars lined up in front,
Sure would.
For sure,
right?
yeah, and
Yes.
then that is the solution.
You're certain about the right of way thing? Parking of
No,
different?
let me check it out. I think we possible.
Weren't they were different colors and
That's what I'm thinking too.
that made it look better.
Because this could be gravel parking, right?
I would imagine, because then you don't have to worry about the runoff as much.
You know how the runoff is from the mountain towards the back of where the houses would be?
There's a big ditch line there.
Yeah. that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. There's a huge
Shows
swale
up on
at the back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, those contours show there.
Yes.
And there's no doors in the back. Maybe none of my business, but
Oh, they have everything.
It's probably not.
You really don't need a back door.
I was looking for, that's what I was looking for in the parking, I think,
What's that?
the handicap requirements in zoning code, I think are very specific to county, not residential. Yes, Donna.
This is not something that typically happens in our house. I don't
No.
know if we step into another
Exactly.
category here.
So then does the review of the SEIF wait until the final
I
site plan?
think, yeah, we just have to review right now.
Old school.
You have landscaping written down in the front done,
You run screening, yeah.
Screening, yep, we got it.
Okay,
That's it.
any other comments at this point?
Well, I agree with John, what he said about no back doors, I think that would be a good thing to have. Aren't we required to have like,
Just a second, to be
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Now Donna got that as well?
Yeah. John?
Ready?
Yeah,
I know
you
the
dropped out
answer to
that back door.
Yeah.
That should come into it.
needs to be there, so every habitable.
Well, then they can park in the back and go in the back door, they don't need to walk around to the front.
Yeah,
I think the front being dressed up a lot.
Yeah.
nicer.
right.
Okay, thank you, Don.
Thanks, Donna.
I think it would look nicer if there was landscaping in the front of the building.
Like the
That's
back.
the
Right.
screening, yeah.
Yeah,
Between the
Oh, awesome.
walkway
Additional.
if you
And
have
the
the room
road.
now,
yes,
Yeah.
between the walkway and the building, there should be landscaping.
yes.
I think, yeah. I think it would be nice. Let's start with the
Between
parking.
the walkway and the building?
Well,
No,
no,
Why not?
in front of the walkway,
in front of the walkway.
between the road and the walkway.
Yeah.
Well, they'll be,
He's talking
You guys
about,
are actually
he's talking about
screening
addition
between
to
the
the
road and the
screening.
walkway, correct?
Oh,
Yeah.
But the screening
If there's a
could be,
sidewalk out front, like something just to make it look nice.
Like foundation planting.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, this board has done that in the past, required, not this board, but the planning board has in the past required that certain types of trees be planted and used as screening, and that's not always the most successful thing.
No.
I do get complaints about things, just keep them.
Not certain trees.
The trees died, or they're pulling them out in the middle of the night and replacing them with smaller trees. How do you enforce that? I don't know.
The fenced-in power operation for the sewer system?
No,
On
no,
28?
these complaints are specific to the stone.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Tom.
Okay. Other business.
Comp plan, the comprehensive plan committee will be meeting Monday to review the revised document. If the comp plan approves that revision, I will get it to you guys as quickly as I can for you all to discuss at your workshop. You're not forwarding the comp plan for public hearing for county, for public input, nothing. You're just reviewing the document and sharing your thoughts about it with the town board, and they'll be dealing with public hearings and county and seeker and all that.
When did you say we were receiving it, Grace?
The meeting is next Monday, so if the comp plan approves it, I can get you guys the documents by the Tuesday.
We'll be getting hard copies.
I can get you hard copies, but I'm gonna email it to you. If you want hard copies, just have.
Is there anything to review before Monday?
I mean, I have the revision, it's just not been approved, so there's not
I
really
think we
much
should
point in looking it over.
We should wait till I approve it before we start our review, in case they make changes. How big is it?
Yeah, I want
I
a hard
believe the
copy.
document's
So we
58
know.
pages, but if you take out the tables and stuff, it's not quite as,
You said 58 plus tables.
including tables.
Including it, yeah. Can I have a hard copy?
Hard
please?
copy, yeah, no email.
It's easier if you have the hard copy of one at least, if you want to compare the revision to the original. So yeah, I can do hard copies of.
Yeah, please.
The revision, yeah, once it's revised and approved, hard copies first. Easier
I
to
can
read.
do hard.
The only updates were ones in which there could be no objection. In other words, like
You don't know that
changing
until we
dates of
review
things
it.
that happened, or, you know, yeah.
Frankly, I've not read it yet. I'll take the weekend to do that, so we don't actually know that that's true, but hopefully.
Simple stuff. All right, where are we? That it for other business? County liaison report. Um, Anything else? We average out the last two meetings, we make them two normal meetings, I can make this one now.
I'll make that motion.
Second?